ये साउंड नहीं आ रहा है।
पता हम देख रहे हैं।
अच्छा
through the twin gates. He's playing Nature's Prophet. Allows him to go in, not necessarily with the Nature's Prophet, to go through the twin gates, but be very active at the early stages of the game. Between 6 and 8 minutes, you kind of can't expect him to make this move.
We could talk about gameplay and the weight that the execution has when they do get that draft, but going into it as well, Winter, there's a lot of preparation you can do beforehand. Looking at, do you want to favor a radiant side, a dire side, a first pick, second pick? How exactly you're going to build your draft around having that choice and information?
Yeah, as you know, numbers they are kind of my thing, so I like to look at them. And basically, what we found out is for Tundra, whenever they are last picking Neta's hero, whenever they are last picking, really go so well for them. That's why they prefer to be on the first pick side, where they secure Neta's hero early. They don't want to get into a situation where the enemy is banning out all the top tier heroes for Neta, and they can't really figure out what to give him at the end, So I think that should be their plan right now here for Tundra. Whereas Heroic, I'm sure they know about this, and they're going to be trying to devise something to mess this up.
Yeah. Well, then what about the side of Heroic and their numbers?
बताए तो 70
I
होता है,
think they're also really
अगर वो
NHK हो गया
कल का जो लास्ट में हम 2 बजे उठ के एक बार बेडरूम का मैच देख रहे थे। हम तो स्ट्रीम छोड़ दिए थे वैसे ही। हम बेडरूम का मैच देखे, अरे बाप रे बाप।
nowadays having the second pick, having the 24th
पर हम बोले वो सारा तेल मनी हम लोग के साथ स्कैम किया है।
तेल मनी स्कैम किया है।
good heroes. So whenever you get to that 24th pick, it's very rare that oh my god, there's this hero right now. I'm gonna pick this hero. We're gonna win the game. It's
carry
not gonna be.
मेरा carry हमको
go for like a
बहुत
less
अच्छा points दिया।
facet and beat some sort of matchup, but also there are like play options that people have.
आमे बहुत अच्छा points दिया।
और मिड
में तो वो ये है मेरा बेडरूम।
हेलो
जीपी
तो जीपी के ही तो है तो लुमा भी आ गया तो वो भी तो दिया होगा।
लुमा कितना points हुआ?
So that itself is already for me a very big advantage of being on the first side. Because so if you want to, for example, pick something like a puck and Void Spirit is potentially ban out the Void Spirit on the 8th ban, and then you pick your puck, something like this, So being on the first
यहाँ पे मूवी चल रहा था तो मूवी देख रहा था।
execute the plan.
Absolute cinema.
I do agree with that one. Having overall last pick doesn't feel
the
as
तेल मनी
impactful.
पता
I
नहीं
think
कैसे
a
जीत
good
गया।
example is Mulreen, because he's the best in the world when it comes down to
तेल
not
मनी
playing
हल्का।
into unfavorable matchup for him. So he's dragging the creep wave, he's manipulating, he's going to be playing his primal beast underneath the tier 2 enemy
और
tower.
बेडरूम वाला जो
safe
पहला
lane,
मैच है
dragging
उसमें भी देख
multiple
के लग रहा था
creep
कुछ
waves, plus
गड़बड़
farming
है
the
बेडरूम।
jungle. So
फिर वो
there's
लोग
ways
अरे
to
ड्राफ्ट
play with it, and
कैसे हो सकता है भाई?
overall just
इतना खराब
way
ड्राफ्ट
better
एक ड्राफ्ट
at
हम समझ
understanding
सकते
how they
दोनों
need to do
ड्राफ्ट
in the
इतना
last
खराब।
ban phase to be able to protect
किसका
the
इसका
heroes that they just picked.
Yeah, I think the main takeaway for at least for Tundra side is they need to secure.
ऐसे नहीं लग रहा था
right
कि
away.
भाई फ्री का
For them to have a
मतलब दे
really
दे
good
रहा है
plan.
कि
दे
चल
दे
And then what about Heroic? What's their takeaway then?
I think for Heroic, they are going to
Suspicious
just,
है
I think, do their own thing. If we are going to understand what they're doing,
Suspicious
it
वो
means they're
सब
probably
हमको
going to
पता नहीं
be
बट
losing the
हमको
game.
लगा था जरा
I feel like whenever you understand their draft,
वो
it
लोग
means that
कुछ
they don't know
ज़्यादा ही
what to do, they don't have a
confidently
plan.
सब
But
कुछ
whenever
दे
you
रहे
don't
हैं।
understand their draft, it means that they have something going on. You just have to sit down, relax, and enjoy the game.
Yeah, trust the process. Trust whatever chaos is.
वो भी हो सकता है ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस।
I think
दोनों तुमको
that
कितना
honestly,
मिला है?
like this is how this team functions as well, and it's ironic because both
3,000?
analogs said in interviews
आपको कितना मिला है?
63
completely separate by the way. They don't
वाह,
focus
तो-
on the results. They just
शायद
focus on
आसपास ही
doing
तो
the
है हम
right
लोग।
thing, and
अरे
then
मेरा
the
कल
they want will come
वो
from a
अगर
very objective and
तेल मनी वाला नहीं होता ना
the
हाँ।
process, like you
तो
said.
मेरा कल
And
सब
I
कुछ
think the
प्रेडिक्शन भी
process
सही
has
था।
been working for them, right?
हाँ हम लोग का सबका सही होता है चारों ऊपर में।
जस्ट वन
I think they should have
वन
done it.
मतलब वन
Don't know about rushing ads.
Go back to that.
Rushing Ags and clock might have been a
45.
bit too much. I think you need something in between.
Minor
One small
changes,
item.
yeah.
Yeah.
Update
have
हुआ है
to
क्या?
take it, But I want to
बाद
see
देख
something
बोले।
from Tundra that they've been doing really
अपडेट हुआ है
मतलब as in
वो 66 सॉरी
और
66
update नहीं हुआ।
66,936
बाप बाप रे 66,000 ओ माय गॉड।
अच्छा इन लोग का स्ट्रीम में एक चीज हम ध्यान दिया अभी
because yesterday they had
तुम
a
अगर
very,
वो
very
फैंटेसी या
good,
रिवॉर्ड में क्लिक करोगे
things that they've shown, but they
हाँ।
unfortunately
स्ट्रीम
lost
म्यूट हो
because
जाता है अपने आप
म्यूट
Enough
हो
time
जा
has
रहा है।
passed. These
हाँ, अभी
players are
देखते
sitting
हैं।
in their booths, and there is one thing left to do. Everyone here at Barclays Arena, get ready for our very first series and our first game of the day.
अरे मेरा वाला गलत हो गया।
फैल्कन वाला मतलब
हाँ
फैल्कन वाला फैल्कन फैल्कन मतलब
Tidebound
टाइड
Falcon.
वाला
ये वाला मैच क्या दिया तुम
Yes, we
लोग?
finally have a draft underway. We don't
ये
have
वाला
to
मैं
even
ढूंढ रहा
drop what preparation these teams
चंद्रा
have
हम
brought
क्या
to
दिए
the
थे
tables.
वैसे?
क्योंकि 33 अपना दिमाग लगाएगा इसमें।
और हम भी टंड्रा ही दिए थे। ओ टंड्रा वर्सेस हीरोइक, हम बोले थे टंड्रा जीतेगा, देखते हैं।
एलबी राउंड।
हाँ
हाँ आज तो पूरा एलबी राउंड चलेगा आज।
अच्छा
चल तो हो गया। स्ट्रीम अटक गया कि मतलब लाइव स्ट्रीम अटक गया कि इसका ब्लैक स्क्रीन हो गया?
नहीं लाइव स्ट्रीम चल रहा है।
नहीं मेरा अभी ब्लैक स्क्रीन हो रहा था।
हम सच बात पता है, टू बी वेरी रियलिस्टिक, हम लोग ना आई डोंट थिंक हम लोग ऊपर पहुंच भी पाएंगे।
Extremely strong hero. Just in
वो
general.
जो
I mean,
वो लोग 12 लाख 1,20,000 पे
yeah. To be honest, like if
एक
you
अरे
Top
बहुत
पे 100
एक प्रेडिक्शन खराब हो जाता है तो पूरा खराब हो जाता है ना।
people realize that when you put the Marcy
क्योंकि
buff on
ऊपर
the creep,
ब्रैकेट ही तुम्हारा
every
मेन
time
है
it
ना,
gets
नीचे
hit,
वाला
you
ब्रैकेट
hit.
तो उतना
Every time
काफी
it
नहीं है।
hits, you hit. You can actually buff something and use the buff.
क्या
Aside
उठाएगा
from
बोलो?
having a teammate, it's like there are all these you can jump off the creep and it's like, oh wow, this is so good on Marcy. Turns out she's good on
हीरोइक
everything.
में
But this was the start of
मेरे लिए ना आप लोग का स्कोर
This
वो
Tiny doesn't
नहीं
say
हुआ है,
anything
पता
for
है,
them. Most of
अपडेट
it
ही
has
नहीं
been
हुआ है।
played out by
हाँ
Salsa. They really love
तो वो
to
अभी
run
भी पता है
Enigma
कितना में
plus
दिखा रहा है
Tiny
आपका?
lane. This has
49 में
been
दिखा
their
रहा है,
staple
बताओ।
ever since
वाह।
they played
43
on the
है।
old Tundra as well. This is something that puts a lot of pressure, allows Tiny to
एक
run
तो
around freely, maybe make a
सेंटोर
move,
उठ
like pick
सकता
up the
है
down runes, secure
हीरोइक
the
का।
active runes as well, maybe even gank the mid lane if the opportunity does allow you to do so. So potentially in the back of their heads, they
हमको लग
should
रहा
start
है
thinking about
हीरोइक
this
का
Enigma.
सेंटोर या
It's
फिर
again Helm of the Dominator, something that Tundra
वो
definitely
उठाएगा
wants to buy
पज।
from the offlane.
ना पंच नहीं उठाएगा।
हेरोइक
Also,
पज ही खेलता है।
Tiny
पता है
is pretty hard to
सेंटोर
play
या
as good as
फिर
Marcy. Like Marcy, in her nature, like will get in there and fights. And
और
you can't
सपोर्ट में
really
उठ
get
सकते
out.
हैं।
You know, heroes like Tiny, they can you can just casually
अभी
throw an
किसका चल
avalanche
रहा
on the ground, prevent some sort of
Heroic.
initiation. You can toss her out.
Heroic
You can
Tundra.
toss her, you know, back into your team. You also have the Tiny innate, where you are taking less damage every time she hits you, and of course she does these like small instances, well actually big instances of damage,
Yeah, not small.
but very quickly, and you're reducing her damage. It's
Second
pretty
thing
hard to
there,
kill
yeah.
a Tiny. So I think in general, like he likes
Yes.
playing into Marcy.
होता ही है।
Believe me,
Common है।
these heroes in every single
वो
club right now,
टूंडा
pro
लोग
club,
का
it's very hard
अच्छा
to find
pick है
heroes
वो।
that actually like playing into Marcy. So
I mean,
Tiny-
with them, when you say
Invoker
that
भी
the
बैन है।
Tiny carry would be valuable against a Marcy, I know it's not a very popular thing.
और वो भी बैन है।
Because if the Marcy is carried,
Naga
you want like
Siren.
a good
Pulse
matchup.
5
I
Naga
think that
Siren
idea
खेलता है।
of like
Sneaking.
getting in there against Tiny is hard is the same whether it's a support or a carry. So
Yeah, what does it offer more as a carry than
And you have more items, you stand there and you fight him.
you can stand your ground more.
Yeah, you can stand your ground. Marcy
shit,
really
उसका
has
horn है वो।
trouble finding heroes that can fight. You
किसका?
have trouble finding heroes that can fight Marcy.
I was gonna say, I don't think you
अरे वो
stand your
आदमी
ground against
cap
Marcy
पहना था।
ever. I think you get the hell out of there. You toss her out and you run away. You wait for her ult to be over. That's my experience with the hero. Like I really feel like it's very hard, especially if Marcy's going for like the Daedalus build, to find heroes that will actually be able to stand your ground and like out DPS her. I think you have to kite the fights against her, and Tiny's like the best fight kiter in the game.
पीछे में कौन है? स्पेयर प्लेयर।
And
Couple
you
more
have to buy 4 stuff as well on that hero.
Absolutely.
Heals 4 stuff.
नहीं नहीं
Yes.
हाँ स्पेयर
Yes, all of these
वो
things.
छोड़ ना।
There's a couple more bans coming out from Heroic, the Sand King and the Queen of Pain. So this mid pool lowering a little bit more on the
What's
side of
actually-
PCM and what he's lacked to play so far at this tournament.
वो है कि एनालिस्ट है वो है दोनों से।
CM had a bit of a struggle yesterday when he played
Yeah.
at Shaker. It's the combination of
And
different things. We saw a bit of
पता
an
है,
unfortunate
हाँ।
sequence.
फिर
of
बोलता
events
है कि
that
हाँ
he
हाँ
himself
ये
didn't
हीरो
have,
लिया जा सकता है।
playing into unfavorable matchup, but also not being allowed to enter his own triangle. A lot of his camps did get blocked, and there was also Sanking that was farming in the same area. So I think Thunder is going to be making sure that those issues don't occur again. And I also want to see BZM on a tempo hero. I want to see him, because that game he got completely shut down playing from behind with the naked blink dagger. It didn't look too good, but this hero has been looking amazing in the last couple of tournaments as well. This hero is just
S2.
lane bully, dominator.
Especially against Marcy.
The win rate, I would say, doesn't paint the story how strong Pugna is.
No. And they banned Silencer. I think Silencer is like one of the better answers to Pugna. Pugna is so good at saving and protecting somebody, and Silencer can just like
I mean, not just the partner, right? Because I think Dominic mentioned the Enigma earlier. Because based on the bans, they already banned out Gyro and Silencer, and Enigma is like one of the better lane partners with Tiny. And I think if they want it, they are probably gonna have to pick it here because they're not gonna get it last.
Yes, I think Enigma is definitely coming out. I also feel like Heroic probably knows about this because of all the bans. Even
you see those two bans.
Even Silencer, like this is a very
मैच
hero
टूट
against
गया
the Black Hole.
टूर्नामेंट
I
वेगास
do want to say
स्फीयर में
Shadow Demon
करवाना
against
चाहिए
Pugna. You cannot decrypt and save
इधर
something
कराना चाहिए?
from
Vegas
all of
में?
the Marcy
Vegas
damage
Spear.
because SD
वो जो बड़ा सा गोला है
constantly
Yes.
purging, right? So they
उसमें
go with
कैसे
the
करेगा
immediate
तो
hard
बोला।
counter, and they're actually going to double
मजा आ
counter.
गया
Yeah, now you have a save and you have
Heroic
a
का
BKB
शायद
so
Heroic
even
का
though
troll
Enigma
उठ सकता
gets
है
BKB at the later stages of the game, it's more about the tempo, getting these
Troll,
early
Marcy
gems,
carry
this
है।
Helm of the Dominator, so you
हाँ।
know tanking things up if you need a pipe
क्या?
to buy.
Marcy
These
carry
are
और
the
क्या
type of
कर
items that
कौन सा
Enigma
troll?
will buy, but I see Heroic with very aggressive drafts. You
अरे
have
ये
Shadow
पगना
Demon
वाला
and
pick
Bat
बहुत
Rider,
खराब
which is
लगा।
going to be, these are probably two of the best heroes in the game to be able to get the stacks going in the triangle. just
सबको ही
stacks
ban
in the
करता है
jungle
पगला,
in
पता
general.
नहीं, छोड़
Now
दिया।
you need a hero who can actually clear the stacks.
Yep, but Bat Rider isn't as straightforward though as definitely a support because they've already played it on 3 different
Yes.
heroes.
मिड उठेगा तो
They actually prefer it as a core,
मॉर्फलिन
which
भी
is
अच्छा है मिड
very
उठ सकता
interesting.
है
I think
करेगा तो
if it's a tiny
मॉर्फलिन
mid
भी
for
ठीक है
Tundra, now all of a sudden
हेरोइक का
you have
बट
to
हेरोइक का
worry
मॉर्फलिन
about,
को कोई
Bat
खेलता
Rider,
भी है कि नहीं पता
coming
नहीं
in and destroying you.
अरे हो गया
I really love it.
को
Like
और इज
anytime I see
मार्सी
a South American
हाँ
team,
एक हुआ है ना
especially a team with Schofield on it,
और
अरे
picking
नहीं
a
as in
repositioning based
carry
hero, I
Marcy
always
as
think
in
that they have a
pause
हाँ
one
पॉज
way
वन है
higher
पॉज
chance
टू
of
तो
winning the game.
2-3 तो अभी
South
भी है
America
ना
पॉज नहीं
historically has
टू में नहीं
won
खेलते लोग
games
मॉर्फलिन
off
में
the back of being better at team fighting than opponents. Like I
टू
remember
में ये लोग आल
the
बाल कुछ
narrative in
कुछ
NA
खेलता
was
है
always
समझ रहा है?
when it was NA versus
आल
SA,
बाल
you
तो
do not fight SA. You try to outplay them on the map because they will outfight you. They know how to play
अब बात बोल रहा कि
positioning based
त्रियांड
heroes.
उठा लेगा
So
हेरोइक
I love that Heroic is going back to the bat right now.
आल वाल ही
Why
तो
you
है
see
ना
the Ducks here? Ducks here is
बहुत
really
ही
good at like splitting the map, pushing the
हाँ
waves,
आल बाल
making
तो
it
है
hard
सही
for
बोल
lineups
रहा
to
स्काउट
work
वाला
here.
भी है
They want to kill you, but you push the
हाँ
base and you make it very difficult for them to
But,
deal with the map. And on top of that, you're gonna
चपाटा
buy the
करेगा
auras,
लोग
right?
मिला ना
Yeah.
The
देखते
auras
हैं
are going to be very, very good against like,
गिरा ना
Marcy, Bat Rider. Sure, you have the Demonic Purge somewhere down the road, but it does make it
Storm
difficult for
Spirit.
Heroic's lineup to fight.
दो वोल
And if you want
डैमेज
to kill a hero, you probably need to commit
देखते हैं
with multiple ultis on side.
बोला
of
लूँगा
Heroic,
लास्ट
because
उन लोग
now
का
you
पिक
have
क्या होगा
Pugna, so you need to dispel that. So you need Shadow Demon ulti, you need
कौन
Bat
क्या
Rider
खेलता
ulti,
कुछ
because you
पता ही
need to
नहीं
start thinking about the Decryptify,
अभी कौन बाकी
Surge,
कैरी
maybe even just a casual toss
Mid.
back should be able to get
और
those heroes out of position and
कौन
make
mid
sure
है?
that they are
किधर
not
mid है?
running away from that gang. So
Wait,
the heroes
mid?
on side of Thunder are not that
Storm Spirit?
easily killed.
अच्छा अभी
And I
तो
really
अभी
like the
दिखा ना
Storm
स्टॉप
Spirit from Thunder that came out just now
डीले
at
में
17
माफी जाता
because it does was shown we've seen yesterday
टुंड्रा साइड में
He
स्टॉर्म स्पिरिट है लेफ्ट साइड में बताओ
showed
हीरोइक
before, but I don't think he showed it on the Storm Spirit.
इसका
but
medium
for that
bat नहीं
Holy
आता है।
Locket, Soul Ring,
नहीं,
pretty much
bat
having
support
infinite
है।
mana as well.
हाँ,
But
बोला है।
unfortunately doesn't give you mana
हाँ,
anymore with the
बोली
life
बोली।
drain, but it's
Brood
still
बदल
like
उठेगा।
that's why he needs to think about himself,
आई
buying that
ब्रूड
Soul
बदर
Ring,
मिड
buying that Holy Locket.
ओ
Yeah,
माय गॉड
I feel like right now
New
Heroic
meta.
is kind of
Troll.
baited
न्यू
into,
मेटा
being
ना
puck.
ट्रोल देखो
And it
ट्रोल
looks
मिड
like
खेला
a
है
really
ठीक
good
है
puck
ऐसे नहीं
game
कि
other
नहीं
than
खेल
into
सकते
Tiny, who
ट्रोल
has
मिड
like a
खेलता है
good
खेल
stable
सकता है
for
खेल
the puck.
सकता है
But
पर
also,
अगर
I'm
Storm
pretty
Spirit
sure
का
Bat
against
Rider
थोड़ा
against
tough होगा।
mid is pretty
मुश्किल
bat
होगा।
favorite until later on in the game we're
Ember
starting to
Spirit.
mind playing so
पक
much against
खुला है
that.
क्या?
So I guess
पक
the
Em-
question
खुला है
is
पक
like,
खुला है
Two
does
days में।
Analog make this call?
Ember
Yes,
Spirit
I'll
अच्छा
destroy
है।
this guy mid. Give me the
OD
Bat
नहीं
Rider.
खेलता है,
Or does he
बिल्कुल।
just ask for, yeah, give me the
पता
storm
नहीं क्यों
counter.
नहीं
It's
खेलता है
puck,
OD,
right?
but
It's
नहीं
also a
खेलता है
backline
OD।
jumper to deal with the Pugna as
हम
well.
इसलिए एम्बर स्पिरिट बोले क्योंकि
Yeah, I think that's the bigger question,
How much
right?
इजी
How
है पगना
else
को
are you going to be dealing with these supports? They
Shaker.
have another pick lined
Shaker.
up that's going to help them a bit more in that
ठीक है
Earth
चलो यार
Shaker
चेक
that
मिड
will
है
be
पता
picked
चल ही
up.
गया नेक्स्ट
Still could be mid. Could
Next
be
है pause 3
off lane. Could be
Pause
fourth
3
position.
3
हाँ बॉस 3
We don't know.
Dude,
दोनों
Shaker
साइड
not
में नहीं
every time.
एक
It's
कैरी
so
है राइट
good.
में
Oh, they have it on the main
टुंड्रा
stage.
के लिए
Ah,
कैरी
good.
चाहिए और हीरोइक के लिए
I do like
पॉज
Shaker against backline save supports in general because you can go in, echo
बेन नहीं
front
उठाया
liner,
ना
and then Pugna can't save because you just fissure the
Heroic.
backline, right? It's kind of like, it's
क्या
ironic
बोल
that
रहा?
बेन
you deal with the backline
Fine.
supports. And if you
Fine.
want
बट
to
ना
jump the hero,
नहीं नहीं
you actually need
नहीं
AoE,
पॉज 3
not
बेन तो
single target.
बहुत ही
And-
खराब
and
है
obviously
Pause
Shaker
बहुत
has
इंपॉर्टेंट पॉज
plenty of
चाहिए दो
AoE.
I think the
Jeez.
hero is just very valuable right now.
ट्रियांड
because
एक्चुअली
he
पॉज 3 अच्छा है
Probably one of the best
एक्स
fighters
भी
right now in the game. He does so
एक्स से
much
बैन नहीं है ना
damage.
Axe
just that he
भी
does it very good for you. He scales, and I feel like he doesn't really have
आलोक भाई आप पे कितना पॉइंट हुआ?
like games where I feel like I see Earthshaker and again,
क्योंकि points तो सब
Earthshaker is not
मेरे को
going to do
दिखाई
much.
नहीं
in
रहा
this
ये
game.
लोग को सब अर्ली
He
गेम
always
आने
does
लोग
something.
Yeah, I always feel like Earthshaker is going to do something.
आलोक
in
भैया
that particular
जवाब
game.
Yes.
He's just a very useful
मीपो
hero.
बहन है
I
मीपो
think
कौन
the
खेलता
only
है
time so far this international we've seen
Me-
Earthshaker not do anything is when it got completely dumpstered and shut down in
कौन
lane.
सा पॉइंट?
But then still,
fantasy
it
वाला?
almost won. After having like the worst
Player
seeding
वाला?
stage ever, Echo Slam the Ancients, you're back online, and then it still had some
Player वाला?
profound impact.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see hero that can farm the
52,000.
Ancients with all of these stacks that are going to be
52.
happening, and which better hero to do so? Like Earthshaker, you also
तब
can
तो अनिर्बाण भैया कल लेके जा
enemy
रहे हैं
trying. Though I saw
66
Nigma
player भैया
yesterday against the BB team try to invade, and they got
अनिर्बाण भैया
immediately
एक
like
अगर
one hero
मिल जाए
died
आपको exist तो
instantly. So there's
हाँ,
not something
आइएगा
you
ठीक है
can
ना
do.
पता है ना मेरा
You go
परसेंटाइल
in
कहाँ पे
there,
है?
and they have very good heroes.
याद
that
है
can defend the
याद है ना
target.
वो
So I think
50
you
something
have to let it go, or you have to be able
मतलब
to
मजाक
be in
उठा
there,
लो मेरा
try to
मतलब
मजाक नहीं है
get the stacks going, be
पॉइंट्स
very
में
annoying for
आप
them because
दोस्त
Earthshaker,
लोग में
he's gonna
सबसे
hit
आप
the right
हाईएस्ट तो
timing.
हो ही
अभी अभी जाके एक हाईएस्ट हुआ है
Imagine,
तो
imagine being such a
पहली बार
toxic
में नहीं
team that
थे
the last two bans are
इसलिए अभी
pushing
highest.
against you. Like, what sort of team is this to play against?
Because they're still trying to hedge their bets exactly what is going to be playing core right
Luma
now.
कितना
What is
कम
going to
क्यों है
be
पहली
the
बार?
hero if it's being
क्योंकि
picked up
हम
already, if it's still out
नहीं
there,
set नहीं
what's
किया
going
है।
to potentially be
Oh.
going mid too. So they're just like, let's take away some
Up.
comfort, something
Yeah,
that
set नहीं
causes
किया था।
chaos in their games and something they thrive on.
Yeah, I think that's a very good choice because against a team like Hero, you know they are not going to follow the meta 100%.
Yeah,
so
update
it's
का है
good the
नहीं
idea
करता है
to
वो
take
score
away
को।
their comfort picks here, even though some may argue it doesn't really make sense with their lineup. But again, you know, like I said, if you don't understand that,
बोल दो
draft,
Spectre
you still
उठाएगा।
have a very good chance of winning.
That's what they're trying to take
Oh,
away
they're
for themselves. Heroic
Faceless
though,
Void banned
Ava
there.
and Faceless Void are the two bans.
Yeah, that makes me think that they want Batrider core.
Ursa
Yeah, most likely. Time dilation is very, very good against you.
Okay,
They're sticking with their Ursa. They did
Okay,
lose two
ठीक है,
games
वो
yesterday, but they
Marcy-
also talked about how Yuma
हम
had
तुमको
a
तब बोल रहे थे
Marcy
तुमको
कुछ
अच्छा
और
नहीं लगा था ना
didn't die for a
बात
really
तब
long time.
अरे ये लोग
I really like
क्या
the
पता
ban
मार्सी
as
कैरी
well.
खेलता है
Faceless
अजीब
was
मेटा
also
है
very good
बोल
ban,
रहे
but
थे क्यों
Abaddon
लग रहा है
could
कि
make it very
मार्सी
difficult
बॉस
for them
3 भी
because
हो
what they
सकता
want
है
to do is go
Oh,
in
no.
and be able to kill a hero instantly,
Ah,
and now
yeah.
you have a Darkseer, you
Oh,
have a
no,
Fodder
Marcy
field habit that could
Marcy.
potentially pop the ulti, which would mean that you can't
Ah,
protect
yeah.
the
LC.
hero that easily.
I don't
You're
troll.
100% win rate.
अरे
So this is
भाई
very, very
इतना
good
पहले
because it
स्टार्ट
does
के
allow you.
पहले
We've seen a
बोले थे
bunch of trolls
देखो
going
ट्रोल
in
पिक एक मिस हो सकता है
Battle Fury into
अरे
Manta style, potentially
भाई,
even
100%
picking up Aghanim
win rate
Scepter,
है
which I
troll
think
का।
could be very,
10
very good this
11
game
matches
because you
शायद
are going to be
दिखाया
dispelling
शायद।
yourself, you are going to
दिखाओ
be dispelling Ursa, and if
हमको
Ursa doesn't have overpower,
अच्छा
it's on such a low cooldown that
Troll is
carry-to-carry
fun.
matchup just favors
Budak, budak,
Troll.
budak, budak.
Ursa
I mean,
does
also
a
the
good-
stacks, right, from Batrider. That's very, very useful.
okay. Here's a
नहीं
here's
नहीं
a
ये
question though.
सपोर्ट
Does
मार्सी है
Troll not get
बॉस 3 आई
obliterated by
थिंक वो है
Batrider?
बैट राइडर है
Like I
Batrider.
think that one is not even
इतना
remotely close.
सामने सामने बैठा और
He can
ईयरफोन कैसे
keep
लगाया
relentlessly. I think Tundra's
अरे
gonna need
मतलब-
to.
अरे भाई स्टेडियम में
play
आवाज
हर
आता
का
है भाई
Whisper's
मतलब
lane and try
अभी
to
विन
win early on,
ये
otherwise
है
he can
साउंड
run
प्रूफ
away
है
with the
फिर
game.
भी
I think Saksa will need to be very active and try to fix the problems that Jenkins just talked about.
तुम
Because
सोच रहे
if
कि
you
एक ही रूम में
have no
बैठा है कि
stuns whatsoever,
हेडफोन
when they
लगाना बोलो
decide to go on you, this is going to be
नहीं
Troll
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Pagana, and you have
But yeah.
Batrider as a core plus Schofield on Marcy, so you have a way of bouncing them back with two
देखो
abilities.
लुइजी
Not
आया
really
इस
an
बार
easy lane for
कल
him, so I
मारियो आया
think,
था
they might need to manipulate the creep wave top, make sure that Darkseer is going to be getting the farm, and
Yeah.
then make sure that they have TPs ready, especially on Tiny, to be able to help them out in this bottom lane when they dive.
I mean, not even TP, so I think if I'm looking at both sides draft right now and I'm Tundra, I'm going to be willing to take a trade where I'm going to sacrifice my off lane to make their off laner poor, because if you look at Bat and Darkseer, if both of them are poor, it's probably going to be worse for the Bat Riders team.
I'm
Because
dead,
Bat
don't
Rider needs
come.
a lot of farm to snowball the game.
दूसरा वाला
Darkseer can just cut the wave too.
Yeah.
उन्हें
So
बोले
you're kind of
बोलो
confident
ना,
with
तो
your
हम भी-
being the Darkseer can stay by himself.
ये तो
He
सब
might
है
struggle a
अभी
little
ग्रुप में।
bit, but ultimately
इसका
shutting
भी
down
शायद कुछ
that
था ना
safe
ये
lane,
लड़की
Yeah,
से
that
even
offensive
with the
lane.
fastest alone,
Natty
he's going for half of
nonsense,
battle, so he has
Nat-
full speed in the lane. So
T,
I think
chai
it's
wali.
okay. He's already going to be ready to play alone. And making sure that he's going to just go back to the jungle, try to run around, pull creeps, and make sure he gets some farm.
All right, and what about yourself, Jenkins? Because
I agree with the rotations that need to come in, but I also think King Jungles can then rotate, and then you've Ursa versus Darkseer, and that's fine for Ursa. Like, I actually think Whisper is going to run away with this game. I think Heroic has a lot of options here.
okay, so it feels like the fan favorites in
ये
the
लोग
arena
Dota
right now,
players थे
Heroic.
क्या?
That's where you
ये
guys are
commentator है।
siding for it.
I'm gonna go with Tundra.
Jenkins
I
तो
don't think
खेलता
Trolls
है
will lose.
Dota,
I think
जो
Trolls might
Luigi है.
maintain 100% win rate
Actually,
throughout the rest
सभी
of the
Dota
tournament.
Well, that's not the note I wanted to
मतलब
end on. I wanted to end on a high
fun
note
के लिए
for all of the
खेलता
SA
है.
fans out there. So let's head on down to
But
Slacks, who
commentators
does have
भी है.
caps with him.
Hey everybody, that is right here. SA fans in the crowd going ham, supporting you guys. Good to
जैसे
see
बोला
you
था ना
here.
गेम
So
पहले
early
दिन
in the
I
morning here
also
today.
played Dota.
But let's start things off. Caps, there were very
कैसे खेलता
targeted
पता
bans
नहीं
coming
मालिक.
at your way from this team. Were you
कब
a little
पुलिस को
nervous? Did
report
they get in
किया
your
हुआ
head a little bit? A lot of your classics, you know, the Silencer coming out,
Report किया,
other
किसको
heroes that
report
you guys are
किया?
excel at.
Not really.
हमने report
I
करेंगे
think
ना.
we
Neil
have
does
way
guide
too
us
many
as well.
heroes this tournament. If we don't manage to end up with a good draft, it means I fucked up. So I don't know. We worked very hard on it because I felt like earlier this year we weren't matching the better teams. But I think here we're ready, and I really like what we got.
Oh, okay. So even though you didn't get Pudge or Meepo, you would consider this not a fuck up?
Yeah.
इतना
Now you're up
धीरे-धीरे
against Troll
कर सकते
Warlord.
हैं.
This hero
Yeah.
has that 100% win rate. Is this the game that the Troll finally falls, where your Bat Rider be good enough to take him out?
Well, I think everyone here has seen Whisper playing this hero. Believes
ऐसा नहीं
he's
लग रहा
gonna-
स्लो मोशन में बात कर रहा
All
हूँ.
right. Well, it's about time for us to get that show
हाँ, तो
started.
focus के
Are
लिए
you
गांजा
any
पी
words
के
out there to the fans of the crowd out there?
Thanks for
सब हीरो
coming,
का स्लो
guys.
मोशन में देखेगा.
वही ना.
Let's get
सर
into
के
that.
0.25x स्पीड में बात कर रहा है.
There we go, yes, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to you all here in Hamburg. We're getting ready to get right into the action. As you can see, the game has begun down here in the lower bracket. Heroic
Troll
up
की है
against
यार.
Tundra. And indeed, it's got to be a bit of a scary situation, right? When you end the draft against a team that's getting this carry hero that's yet to
100%
lose.
win rate.
100% out of a decent amount of games as well. What, 10 games
10
we've
games.
seen it. Won every single one of them.
10
the
games
Troll
में आज
Warlord
पता क्या
hero.
पता एक
Now,
गेम हार गए.
the question is,
ले.
what have they got against
ले
them?
हो
And do you
जाएगा,
think this was
please.
something that maybe they anticipated, or with the way the draft played out, do you think it might have caught them by surprise?
I would hope that they would have anticipated it, especially if they were picking this Ursa last, because Troll has traditionally been a very good counter versus that Ursa. I think it's because they have this super aggressive dual lane top, like Jenkins was mentioning. The Bat Rider, the Marcy, they absolutely can snowball kills, but let's see if they can even do that, because I've just seen, I don't know, I've seen Pugna kind of push away most heroes from getting aggressive, even Bat Rider. So let's see how they're able to do so. Because too many times this tournament, I've been like, oh yeah, they're going to be able to go aggressive versus this Pugna in the lane, and Pugna just ends up withstanding the pressure, or they end up turning kills because of how much the hero is able to do just poking and prodding in the laning phase. So let's see how Toby's able to push away that aggression that comes. And speaking of Toby, he might just die.
Oh, see if he can get away from this one. He cannot. First blood here for Schofield, who will end up going, well, surely going down in response. Final right click from Chrysalis will indeed get the trade, but not before that first blood is secured by Heroic.
Lane shenanigans from both sides. Toby was catching the wave because Schofield was pulling on the other side, and he gets caught. A little flame break pushback that comes in from Whisper, and this is what they're looking for, right? That's exactly what Heroic wants to do in this lane, is just get kills, try to snowball Whisper, but there is going to be that counter kill, of course, that comes in for Chrysalis. Now we can look at these other lanes. The Ursa, Yuma. Second game yesterday was pretty tough, I would say, for him.
That game, I feel, was kind of tough for the whole team. Right?
Yeah.
That was not Heroic's finest showing yesterday in that game, too.
So this one, he does get to pick the Ursa versus the
यही
Darkseer,
लिया
which
था
has been a
ना,
traditional
Yuma
counter pick in terms of the
उर्सा ही
lane
लिया
phase.
Yes.
But let's see
हाँ,
how
लिया था.
this
उसका
traditional
कोई
counter matchup works
support,
nowadays
मतलब
versus the
support
Dominator
है,
meta, because I
कमजोर.
think things have changed.
हाँ,
Ursa
उसको
can kill
धोया
the
जा रहा
Dominator
था
creeps, but a
1v3.
Darkseer with Dominator
Oh,
can also
वही ना.
pressure the Ursa in a different
ये
way that
satanic वाला
it
ना,
used to be,
हाँ.
where
हाँ,
Ursa
तीन को
Ursa and
कैरी
Darkseer
एक
just
कैरी
trade
को
farm
धोया
versus
जा
each
रहा
other.
है.
Now we'll see, because
It's
you got to
alright.
imagine, right, from
Oh, yeah,
Tony's
he
point of
did
view, this Ursa pick was
इतना
not a
मार रहा
surprise.
था.
They came here today very ready to play against Yuma's Ursa.
फिर से वही
I
हो
mean,
गया.
something else we do have to mention, you were talking to me about it on the car ride over here, the mid lane, right? BZM versus
Marcy
Analog.
अगर
Analog
घुसता
yesterday
है,
had a bit of a tough one, especially
Yeah,
on
a
that
rough
Shadow Fiend, right? Those 30 denies that we saw coming out
Oh,
from no one.
oh.
Already, some big damage from BZM.
He's playing it chill. He's got to fairy fire a couple of bottle charges to rely on, so just holding back, living on the edge here, Analog. Definitely starting to feel a bit of the heat here from BZM. Top lane, Heroic.
Chrysalis.
Going to try and make the go on a Chrysalis, but he did have the chance to put the stick and maybe turn.
Nice
Another blast
troll
comes
मर
in,
गया,
but
ले.
Chrysalis
Stacks.
will fall.
अरे यार.
Heroic able to push for the
मैं बोला
kill.
ना, ये हमको लग रहा है ये मैच
Damage from
हारेगा।
Whisper.
Troll
Whisper ready to finish off the job, and he'll
उठाया तो
get
है।
a double kill for Whisper on
मेरा
the back.
टुंड्रा में
I mean, we
लगाया
heard
मेरा भी
from
टुंड्रा
the
में
start,
लगाया
right?
हुआ
You know,
है।
indeed, the fans know it as well.
ये
Whisper's
Crystallis
back can absolutely perform.
Yeah, and I'm glad they already are going to play much more aggressive because yesterday
Late game
we were seeing a bit more
बताएगा।
passive style from them. This is a lane that just breathes aggression.
नहीं, मैं
Marcy
देख
the
रहा हूँ।
Batrider. Great ways to get on top there
ये
too.
उल्लू वाला
As
कौन
we
सा
see,
set है?
Crystal is definitely going to have a bit of a
है,
slowdown,
है।
even with the Pugna behind
Oh,
his
what
Toby
set?
dying level
Bat
1.
Rider.
Still doesn't have the word to be able to push him off.
Outrider.
Now he's gotten the 2,
Outrider,
but
yes.
bit of that damage is done in the lane already. 10 CS
और
on the
वर्ड्स का
troll.
क्या
hot
हुआ
start
क्या
for
हेडविग
Whisper.
हेडविग
Well,
है वो।
हाँ
Over in the river, we'll see the setup here from King Jungles. TP's coming in. They've got the lockdown for BZM. Fisher comes into play.
Boom.
Jump forward. Here's the rotation. Come through from Schofield. They take down BZM, and they'll be able to outnumber and surround Saxus, slowly chase him
Body
down.
block हो रहा है,
There's
heavy
nowhere
body
for the
block हो रहा
Tiny
है।
to run. Heroic
Nice block.
starting to bring the action early this game.
बहुत अच्छा
5
block.
kills to the one that Tundra's managed to find so far in this first 4 minutes. They're bringing that action. This is what we need to see from this squad.
This is the
ए
heroic that
भाई
everybody wants to see.
टुंड्रा
Just constant
थोड़ा
aggression,
आगा
looking for
परफॉर्म
bullying.
करो।
They're leaving Yuma now in this lane alone.
Agas
Since he's
them
versus
करो।
the 33
और
Darkseer,
जीतो।
he should be pretty okay down here. And yeah, I mean, Schofield, he can look to be pretty active.
सर की
Looks like
उधर में
Whisper
पूर्सा
is
का
gonna be pretty okay in this
26
top lane
लास्ट
with the start for now.
What is this?
Just having very
Meanwhile,
nice areas to
Troll
get
का
active
तो
with
पता
as
ही है।
well, whether it's sort of swinging to the mid and getting the shaker in on top of this storm early, or just allowing Whisper to close that gap against the Troll and put the pressure onto Crystallis in this laning stage.
Heroic woke up this morning. They definitely had their breakfast nicely because these moves are ready. You see the
I think
rotations,
ना,
they're quickly
टुंड्रा लोग
swapping lanes too. Schofield
देखा
now is bottom. Shadow Demon's starting to get the
कि
stacks going for his Earthshaker. Probably because
XG से
Analog
हम लोग
saying,
हारे
yes,
हैं,
he's gotten
है
the
ना?
kill, but in terms of
और
CS
क्या
on
लेके
lane,
हारे हैं?
still wants to get those early stacks because of how
कोई
beneficial
कैरी
it is
वेरी
for the
लेके
Shaker.
हारे हैं बट किस चीज से आ रहे हैं
And on that bottom lane as well, is there a chance
Goals,
for
sir. ले
Heroic to
देके
also
अलग
find
भी
kills
तो
down
होता है
here, or against the Tiny Darks here it's a little more difficult, or it can still happen?
Absolutely can, but they're just going to play in a different way now where 33 is just going to be jungling, but maybe, I mean, Schofield is looking for some tricky stuff here. He might be able to find a free kill. Let's see how bold he is to go forward. 33 will be fine.
Yeah, he's ready to back up and refuel, so he'll be out of harm's way. And of course, you know, Tundra's lineup, it's just the fact really that they have this kind of Darkseer Tiny. I feel like this has been a duo that we've seen a lot of teams hit a real sort of sweet spot. This combo, it's a classic.
And it's them mostly. Honestly, it's Tundra who've been the ones playing it the most. They even opened up with the Tiny this game. So
अभी तो ये लोग
time.
Talking about the Tiny, Saxa, they'll make his way up there, make sure that they have the numbers to take down King Jungle's Whisper.
Whispers
Should be all right here. Able to keep his distance, has Firefly and Flame Break at the ready.
Nice.
Necessary.
Sox is still in the area with the combo, so Whisper does have to be careful.
But look at this rotation from Analog, making the move here with the Invis Rune. They do have a sentry down, so if they get some further vision around there, they should have eyes on him.
And they see him now.
And they will. So not able to catch them by surprise with this Invis.
The beauty of this combo, though, with the Marcy is he can just throw him in, right? You can get the Echo
Yeah, you've
Slam
got
in
to be
position
careful. Absolutely. You
expect.
can't get anywhere close to this Shaker when Schofield's around because, yeah, you'll get caught straight in the combo.
Oh, इसका alt का
As you
ऐसा
see,
काम
it's 5
होता
to
है कि
2,
तुम
but
देख
Tundra,
सकते
the
हो
economy game, it's there for them.
It's
CS,
perfectly
they're
fine,
doing
yeah.
just fine.
Yeah, 33 having a final time on the side of the map.
Yep, 33 will check. He'll see his camp is blocked, but he'll still have a secondary one available. But very good preparation as we see Heroic. Double wards, or multiple wards to block camps, scouting information. As we said, they are definitely looking to have a much better early game than they did yesterday. And that early game is very important, as you said. You know, Darkseer, king of team fight. If you don't get a good early game and the team starts to round together around those auras and dominators, it can be very hard to fight against unless you have an advantage.
See bottom. Sacks up. He's gonna have the avalanche and the toss back. It's a good amount of control there onto Yuma, and with the damage from BZM, it should be the end of the bear. Yuma falls. BZM makes a strong rotation. Same time top. We're gonna put the pressure onto the carry as well. They get another chance to take Crystallis down. So both safe lanes starting to feel a bit of heat.
Truly trying to snowball Whisper, though. You see that. They're just trying to get all the kills possible for this Batrider to take control of the game. Mid, Analog, looking for Toby.
Schofield a little too far to connect. Up to the tier 2. Gets a bit spooky, so Toby will be fine for now.
Doesn't want to throw the Echo. Might have had enough damage there, but decides to hold on to it, perhaps for a core kill, or maybe for his Ancients, since it is getting very stacked up, perhaps wanting to reserve it for that.
And are constantly pushing out the waves as well, so already getting a decent amount of early damage done onto that mid-tier 1 here, Heroic, with the way that Analog's just constantly shoving forward.
And let's see how they prepare now for bottom. Dominator's done. So 33 is going to start getting this extra pressure. I mean, the tower's dead. So let's see how they do want to react. It looks like it will be pressure on the opposite side as we see Whisper take out the tower. See what build he goes for. It looks like Whisper's going standard. He's not going any deviated build on the Batrider. I was wondering maybe if he does do something crazy like Dom, but
there we go. There we go.
Boom.
Easy slam there with the amplified damage, easy stacks, and that's that's going to be the timing done. Very nice and fast this game. Meanwhile in the jungle, BZM and Saxa, they'll hunt down Schofield.
Finding quite a bit.
These good early little moves here from BZM, up and down between the kind of the mid, the bottom, and just hanging around this jungle of Heroic. He's finding himself a couple of early kills as the Storm Spirit.
Saxa being the all-important one to set up for these kills, since he is really the only aggressive hero.
They want to try and get 33 out of the lane. Jump forward there. Analog able to shut off the escape. It's a good solid showing at the blink. And indeed, as we see, here with those stacks, they're able to prepare for him, and how well he did in the lane. A hot start here from Analog, which is we needed to see, right? Because as you said, that second game yesterday, not so hot at all.
No, love to see that. And we did see KJ
level 6 pretty early on the Shadow Demon
versus Darkseer. It's one of the best heroes in the game. Use Purge him.
वहीं पे
As long as you
खत्म
get that demonic Purge up onto the DS, it's usually not disadvantaged, as they'll find the creep as well.
Of course, whilst this is all going on, we're seeing at the top side, Crystalis getting that space. Had quite a bit of pressure early on, but absolutely still in position where the Battle Fury timing shouldn't be too terrible. And if he kind of gets to maintain this part of the map and have the team keep the pressure, or at least keep Heroics focused on their side, this Troll should be able to catch up.
Yeah, should have pretty similar farm to the Ursa. It does seem like it with the
Luma.
Power Rune.
Saxa
will find a haste. Take that one away from Analog. Analog Echo cooldown 30 seconds. Coming up soon. Likely the next play that Heroic wants to make.
And they could make that as well
क्या
with,
पता
okay,
कुछ साल बाद लुमा भी जाएगा PI खेलने.
Getting this BKB rush this game.
So changing the build a little.
Usually
switching around. He's very about the drums the early game, so this I think he's just saying, I really need this BKB to go through all this magic damage. Because if he doesn't have it, right, and he tries to initiate and run in, he will just likely get popped. It's a ton of magic burst that Tundra has, so.
And I think it's fine, right? You've already got your mid shaker, they've got a very quick blink dagger timing for the initiation, and obviously you're playing with a Marcy with pick me up, so. Just being able to survive seems more important for Whisper in this role this game as the bat than getting that jump himself.
Yeah, I agree. I thought perhaps maybe the drum, but I think this is just a better pickup in particular.
Tier 2 matches se upar uthi nahi pe tier 1
here with the Echo cooldown.
33.
So a couple of ancient creeps here. They've got the burst opening up with the Echo, the follow-up, the lockdown. It's there. Nicely done by the two of them.
And they get out safe.
BZM's definitely going to look to try and make opening on a Schofield. Analog wait for Schofield. Now Saxa coming in from the side. Turns his attention over towards Analog. Of course, wants to try and get the bigger kill. They'll get the toss back into the blast. Analog in trouble. Crystal's turns out well. They bring down the shaker.
Schofield शायद बच जाएगा.
Anything more, Saxa. Avalanche onto King Jungle. Trying to get the body blocks off with the Hellbear Smasher, but is able to get his way round, and they'll be able to retreat.
Good target prioritization there from Tundra. Saxa even blocking. I saw KJ walking disruption. Saxa was just following him to prevent any type of save, so very on top of it. 8-5. More kills than I think we've had in some of our games at the 11-minute mark. Very action-packed. I think both teams don't like this actually either, to be honest with you. It does seem like Tundra is fine because they're still getting the farm on map. Heroic is happy because they're getting these extra kills to accelerate things, in particular for Whisper, as he is...
जला रहा था, ऐसे उसको follow करा दिया enemy को.
The biggest concern is that the Troll is having a good time, and this hero has been unbeatable. So the fact that even though they managed to kill Crystallis a couple of times early on the laning stage, he's up there. He's top 3 net worth. He's level with the Farm of Humor. He's going to have a good Battle Fury time. That's going to be a problem.
Yeah, my worry is the timing for the Troll, but also it's the Darkseer when he starts joining his team with the auras, right? He's going to have a pipe pretty early this game, since most of that damage is magical on Heroic, and Heroic doesn't counter whatsoever. Unless they want to do some weird build on the Batrider, which I don't think like that. So that's usually the big timing for Darkseer, right? It's like that 15 to 20 minute timing when the team starts running around together. We'll see if Heroic can prepare when it does kick off. Because so far their moves have been pretty good.
They want to try and strike a Whisper before he has the BKB done.
He's got backup. He can get himself out of this.
Same team का दो रखा.
Schofield turns up. Saxa will be able to hold him back with an avalanche. Trying to chase forward, but Tundra should be able to keep the distance. 33 trying to wild wing ripper his own creep away there to save it. Will still be able to get the plus 100.
But game जीता जरूर है.
Meanwhile, they continue to get the stacks going on the side of Heroic. Could we actually get a stat counter whenever possible
हारा तो
as
क्या
well?
हुआ?
Too, 'cause
चौसना तो है
it's
ना.
a team with Shaker, right? It's a team with the Shadow Demon as well too. So there's going to be a
वैसे ही.
Heroic, but Tundra.
They're ready to go. They're ready to go
Chosma
and
तो
try
है
and
ना.
connect with Analog around the mid because Analog does have the slam back online.
Okay, let's see what they find.
Of course, you know, you've got to imagine these sort of timings Tundra
Yeah,
will be
VP.
keeping track of, so should be prepared to be cautious.
BZM,
Yeah,
so
but
he's on
yeah,
strength tread.
अभी भी लग रहा है.
He's playing careful. I think he
match.
senses that this sort of play might be coming
Tundra
in, but he
लोग
didn't sense it hard enough. The Echo
disappoint
still
करेगा.
gets him into the lasso. That will still do the job
जैसे
nicely.
Way too much chain stun, even if he's on the tankiest portion possible. Cannot survive versus that. Well, they took him
Whisper?
into a tower. Saxa.
I mean, he's
toss
going to end
back.
up walking into Saxon. Saxon's able to toss Whisper back over towards him.
Nice
Good
vision.
vision from Analog. Blocks off pretty much the four of them. They're going to try and go for the fight. Yuma reaching in under the tower. Takes down 33. Schofield's got the dispose onto Toby. Yuma will try and run down the puck there, and he's able to take him out before he can save himself. Double kill for Yuma. And they might not be done
Whisper.
yet. Analog jumps forward. The setup's
match
there to
शुरू होते ही
catch out
पहले पता
another.
लग गया.
Heroic. Find 3 there, and all it cost them is the life of the bat.
Surprised Whisper actually died. That toss did way more damage than I expected it to. They'll get the tower out of it as well. Good timing from Heroic. Outnumbering.
चार
getting
kill
Tundra
किया है
off
लोग
guard.
एक ही जन मार.
2K advantage now for them.
And getting Yuma involved, right? So it's
Yeah.
pretty much soon after this Battle Fury, he's just 200 gold or so away from having that blink
Tundra
dagger.
जीता है
And
ठीक
finding those sort of fights, that is going to be what sort of
हाँ,
sets him
exactly.
ahead of the Farmer Chrysalis on the Troll.
Heroic.
What a fissure there from
नहीं.
Analog.
नहीं.
Clipping all 3 heroes. Even, I think, catching Crystallis on the side there so he couldn't enter toward the fight. 12-6.
अब
Heroic
बोलेगा
set
हम
the
तो
pace of
हीरो
the game.
कर रहे हैं.
कहाँ फायदा आपको?
Tundra looking to strike back.
Oh, they are.
Schofield.
They're going to find Schofield
नहीं
for
नहीं
sure.
सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं मेंटली सपोर्ट
Quick,
कर
easy
रहे
kill.
हैं.
I mean, BZM definitely doing his best here to make these
Well,
moves
that's
to
all.
ensure that
तो lock
Tundra
हो
keep
गया.
up somehow with the amount of kills that are going on in this early game.
Yeah, pre-Soxa Blink Dagger, right? BZM has to be there. I mean, BZM and Sox have to be there for most of
Goal
the kills in this
का
early
वो-
game, as we're seeing.
अच्छा दिख रहा है वो.
अच्छा लुमा.
How's that pipe
अगर
timing
TI
for
चला
33?
गया,
It's
ठीक है.
getting closer and closer. That's going to be the
वहाँ
hard
पे
one that they
खेलने
have to
जाएगा.
go through. But
उस समय ना
33
हम लोग के लिए
33 has to be more
3-4
careful with his
AGs लाना.
positioning too there. I think 2
Aye.
times now or 3 times we've seen him just get purged.
देता है.
And he just dies right at the start of things. So
हमको
maybe he
क्या
has to
पता,
watch the
पूछ
approach
लेना.
since there's difficulty in saving them. As we've seen Toby, he
असली
cannot
AGs भी
use this
लाना.
Decapify to save people. It's either going to get dispelled
सबको
instantly or
3-4
there's just
तो
insane magic damage, as we say, coming in.
King Jungles trying to get some deep vision down.
इंडिया का टीम नहीं
A
जा
lot of
पा रहे.
dominators they've been able to find.
एक बार खेला है भाई.
हो गए.
Soxa getting
गया नहीं
closer and
है.
closer
यहाँ
toward
पे
Blink.
मुंबई में हुआ था.
Heroic ults at the ready. They've got the shard even
Event.
purchased up for analog. So
जैसे वो होता है ना
for Heroic,
DPC.
it does feel like it's go time at pretty much
मतलब
any
officially
moment that they
हुआ
have
था.
this ult at the
हाँ.
ready.
अरे ISL
Just saying,
मुंबई.
just for, yeah, Tundra.
वैसे
Once the
मतलब
pipes
छोटा वाला
there,
इवेंट
Yeah,
हुआ था.
that's their
They'll
timing.
look to
बहुत
turn up
अच्छा
and they'll almost
पिटाया.
certainly look to try and get Chrysalis involved.
Ooh, BZM adapting his build a little.
Most
too
likely
early.
OG के साथ या फिर
Like
किसी के साथ
it's
हुआ
a
था
good option
match.
versus that Ursa and versus the Earthshaker in particular. Could trip them up. Ursa hates playing versus those silences. Although I will say, a lot of
उसका
games
match है
have been
YouTube
working
में.
lately. It
हाँ.
has fallen off pretty hard. So we'll see what he can do with it if he does
देखना
opt to
पड़ेगा.
go for that way. So there's definitely going to be some counters in it. Analog looking for a play. Got the shard even
Saxon
Even.
purchased up for
so
Analog.
close to
Just
having the
a
Blink
वो था ना
Dagger
कि-
online on the Tiny.
Should have
Russian
at least
Babu
2
की
camps on the
तरह है.
side when they respawn if you'd like to wait for them. So Tundra looking for that timing fight. Heroic, they're looking for any
They've
fight.
still got that vision, so they've got a full setup here onto BZM.
Oh,
बोल दो
BZM.
सो रहा है.
Oh,
Yeah.
ESL, ESL,
बोल
ISL.
दो तुम सो
Oh,
रहा
he's
है.
so dead, surely. Straight
It's
in with the
beautiful.
Echo. An easy one there for Heroic.
The dream when you're playing
Stream
Shaker.
कर
The
रहे
amount
थे
of stacks that are made too. He gets every single creep because the Slugger too. Analog, the Echoes are hitting. 3-1 and 5 so far for the Shaker.
Yeah, he's having a great early game here today.
Yep. All right, so Pipe, it's online. Glimmer's still not finished for Toby, but they have Pipe finished. They have Blink on Soxa. Let's see if they can start getting
Toby.
things together because Heroic is starting to get quite a bit of snowball. Look at the difference between the
Toby
Earthshaker
Pugmire.
and the Storm now at this point.
Yeah.
And even the Ursa and the Troll, right? We're starting to see
Toby
that
Quagmire.
separation of course.
Quagmire.
And they're going to be able to
No,
pick
go
up
ahead.
this Aegis without
Quagsire.
any sort of
Quagsire.
contest
Quagmire.
from Tundra. So Yuma with the Aegis online. What would you imagine it now is the plan from Heroic? You've got this
Quagmire
Aegis,
खेलना
are you just
Quagmire.
continue to go, you know,
That's-
for action, just for full out aggression, or are you farming up that next time?
I think you just keep waiting
Eh,
for Echo.
bhai.
Just
Last
keep fighting
time
with
क्या
that
खेलना
Echo every
चाहिए?
cooldown. If
Warlock
they're not
खेलना.
taking advantage of that Echo being on
Warlock.
cooldown, it feels like a good position for them.
Ah,
If the Ursa can
ah.
finish a BKB as well, then he can actually stand toe-to-toe in a lot of
ये
these
भाई
fights.
वॉरलॉक मन को
Versus that
तो
troll in
बहुत ट्रिगर
particular
होता है
too.
वॉरलॉक देख के
Could be pretty nice.
Heading in BZM's direction. Schofield
ट्रॉमा दे दिया है वॉरलॉक
quite able to catch him there. BZM more than ready.
बस
All
अभी
right,
तो ना
Tundra,
कैप्चर
they're
आता है
grouping. This is their timing. The pipe's finished. That blink, as we said, for Saksa. Let's see if Heroic is prepared for it.
Yeah, because Tundra's fight should still be pretty
ये
strong.
कौन सा है ये अर्शिकर का
Got the
सेट?
tools, they've got good burst as well.
Echo Slam,
Yeah.
30 seconds still on cooldown.
आरकाना तो है
Saxa's in. And try for the jump on a Schofield, but the Fisher comes out to disrupt the
Saxa.
play. Schofield's going to try and stand his ground with the ultimate, but the combo is there. He's going to be saved for now by the stroke, but will still fall. But
33's
Heroic
gone.
strike back. Yuma able to get in onto the darks here. BZM controlling the Shadow Demon to pick up the double. Whisper's going to get back in there. Lasso's there to lock down BZM. Yuma brings in the damage, and he's able to take down the both of them there, Whisper.
That's
Getting a
out
huge
Echo.
double. Saxa attempts to get back in with the Avalanche.
Hey, दूसरा आदमी को तो बोलना ही नहीं दे रहा है वो।
Aegis out of the hands of this bear.
क्या damage
But
है
the
ये?
casualties are rising here for Tundra. It's 4 are dead. Only Chrysalis left alive to scarper away.
And that's Tundra picking the fight with their timings. And
They went for that.
Heroic is so ready for it, and they didn't even have
I
Echo
saw क्या
on.
damage
That's
है।
without Echo Slam that they're able to do this in this fight. So,
Yeah, that was
massive.
a rough move to make.
Again, 33 charges in, gets demonic.
अरे
purge,
वो
and
है
just
क्या
dies almost
कास्टिंग में
immediately at
क्या
the
नाम
start
है
of the
उसका
fight.
Yeah, he's getting crushed. The
really is.
farm
एकदम
was
speed
still
में
good, you
बोलता
know,
है,
he's
rap
getting
god
the
बन
timings,
जाता है।
but each and
ready.
every decision to turn up to the team fight has
अरे आलोक
absolutely
भैया
been
जान
punished
क्या नाम है उसका
by
भैया
Heroic.
They're just so prepared. Look how ready they were for the move.
अच्छा
But
ना,
Schofield, he
नहीं,
gets the
नहीं,
solo
नहीं,
after
rap god
the
बनाता
stun,
है।
an instant stun command on. They are so ready for this move. Beautiful preparation coming in from Heroic in this first 20 minutes as we
अरे फिर
see.
से बोलिए रेस बने दिया
Yeah, you can
Revox.
definitely see why
अरे
this
हम ना
team
यार
does like to play with humor on the Ursa, right? It seems
Oh,
like
yeah.
such a comfortable
अरे वो
carry
बुरा
for him
वाला भी।
because his decisions of
बहुत-
when to
बहुत
join and
TIs
when to
में
not
वैसे ही किया
so
है।
far been
बन
pretty
जाता
perfect. He's
है।
always been there to provide that extra bit of damage to help get the cleanup.
Yeah, and having Whisper on this bat, as we're seeing, right? 5-1 and 5. They were mentioning on the panel, he can definitely run rampant with the game. Tundra again, looking to smoke with their
All right.
timing, but it's into Echo
It
this
is.
time.
Indeed, you know, Heroic, they've got more than they had last time ready to throw back at them. Let's see if Tundra can get away with it this time. There's the lead in. Saxa looks for the toss back. They're trying to get onto Whisper, but again, the Fisher causing issues, blocks them off. Analog jumps in with the Echo. Saxa's got Chrysalis. He'll get the ult.
निर्बंध ये कास्टर का नाम बताइए तो
Controlling the troll is all
कौन सा
soon to come to an
ये
end.
जो बता रहा है।
Analog's
भूल ही जा
gonna
रहा
do
है।
his best to kite him out off to the side. PCM will clean up King Jungles,
He's dead
but
again.
Chrysalis dies
क्या
as soon as
Toby
his ult
one में क्या
finishes.
था?
And Tundra, they've got to run.
हाँ, Toby
Yuma
one था शायद।
attempting to get on the chase here. Schofield, is he able to close the gap, bringing him in a little bit closer? They closing in on 33. There's
Hey.
nowhere to run. Dispose back the flame break as well.
OD
Analog ready to
pixel.
slam him down.
Oh.
What
OD
about the Fisher?
pixel.
They just can't
कहाँ
take these team fights, folks. A
हाँ,
second
वो
time
नाम
where
याद
they've been the instigators. They're looking to try and start this. Heroics, they're shutting them down every single time.
पहले दिन का पहला मैच ही हमको
Beautiful. Every single fight, they're like, bring it. Let's go.
अरे
We want these fights, and they're
throw
gonna
कर
get
रहा
the
है
Tormentor out of
रिपोर्ट
it as well. You honestly couldn't almost ask for a better 21 minutes here. 21 kills, 11k lead. Ursa's gotten the Roche. Ursa's gotten Tormentor. Your Bat Riders destroyed the Troll as well. Looking incredible for them at the moment.
OD
And that's
pixel
Tundra. That's them picking the
They're
fights.
trying to fight this. They're trying. But both times, it has not worked out for Tundra. They've got to reset and sort of reassess what they want to do in this game because these sort of moves are just not working.
How do you reassess though? It's what's the pivot that you want to go for now at this point when you thought you were going to be able to fight with this aura? I'm seeing a Midas queued up from the dark
Left
series. They
perfect.
probably won't
I
go
mean-
it, but that's usually difficult tell.
बोले ये
That's,
पेड़
I
नीचे
mean, that's the classic sign from 33, right? That the game is hard.
Yeah.
Doesn't always end up buying the Midas after he queues it up, but it definitely tells how his vibe is with the game. It's a hard one.
I think Tundra has to slow things down somehow and get BKBs now because they can't fight into all this control.
Not
it's
at
just
all.
way too much. Saksa, that's a freebie.
Just playing with him. Oh. No, get him before any neutral can. Same
And
time
another
up
one.
top. That's 33 dead again.
Oh, and this is getting out of control for Tundra.
It's just got to be one of the tougher games 33's had on his dark side, I feel. We've seen him have some
33 is
excellent ones on the
pretty-
road to TI, but this game, he is getting bullied.
I mean, they all are. Truly. I mean, BZM, he's got 6 kills, but he's got 4 deaths as well, right?
He
There's
was
just
6,
relentless kills that are coming in
हमारा
from
था ना
Heroic.
BZM?
This is the Heroic that we wanted to see, as I mentioned.
There's just no slowdown.
Nope.
GP
23
के
kills, 23 minutes, just kill a minute. And they're continuing to hunt with this great vision that we see placed down from them. Just on top of fighting and spellcasting really well, their ward coverage and their preparation around the map has been absolutely pristine. Tundra again, grouping up.
स्टॉप पे कौन सा है नहीं
See if they can try and find a bit of luck around their tier 2 tower.
And this Ursa's level 19 now at this point as well, with a full BKB basher. The angle, just how do you approach the fights versus this Earthshaker who now has a BKB as well on top of all his spellcasting. He's just, you can't kill him either. You have to somehow take care of this Earthshaker, but I don't even know how you do it. The control that he's providing is just, control and damage he's providing is just way too much. So yeah, I think perhaps it is just slow the pace of the game until they can at least get the BKB for the Troll and the Storm Spirit, but Heroic just constantly looking for fights.
Yeah, Tundra definitely showing they want no part of the action until they have that next set of items done.
They need them desperately because the lead's just getting to a point where it might be getting too much for them. Schofield looking at a pretty interesting build too if he wants to go down and queuing up a Yules. Very good to kite either the Darkseer, good versus the Pogna, good versus the Troll. As soon as any of those BKBs would go down whenever they get them, can be a very good kiting tool.
Got the blink now on 33.
Okay. He's got the blink, but he's just
set up the combo.
He's so fragile now. Even though he's got the pipe, it's so much damage at this point on Heroic.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, Tundra, I feel like historically this team has been very good at kind of recovering from these sort of positions, right?
Very, very true.
They kind of, you know, they went for that sort of attempt 2 times, but going for it a 3rd time is not very Tundra-esque, you know, and they're not doing it right. They're changing their approach, and this has absolutely worked out for them numerous times in the past. So Heroic, they're not in the clear quite yet.
Yuma looking for plays. Saksa, he's found. Tundra's traditionally, as you said, this year especially, they've been very good about splitting the map and catching up in net worth, but this is not one of those games where they're really catching up in net worth either. Like some of the games I've seen them losing like this in kills, and they're only like 4K behind, maybe 3K. It's a 15,000 gold lead at 25 minutes. It's pretty significant. An early gem also picked up, as we see there, I believe 2 minutes ago from Heroic. They're putting it on the Bat Rider. So, I mean, Heroic is looking to just completely decimate the map.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, Heroic, they've been able to be pretty chill themselves and just finding this farm whilst Tundra's had to sort of just hide in these corners of the map, giving so much space. I mean, Whisper, he had the time to purchase the complete Shiva's Garb without having to buy bit by bit. So that's a huge addition on top of everything else that Heroic have now in this team fight.
Heroes are going to explode.
Tundra, they've got to keep avoiding. Unless they find little chances like this, they're going to try, but it's a hard one to go for. Azuma, he's got the erase. They'll try and vacuum him back. He's still got the BKB ready.
Too hard to go in the
They're
Shadow
not even able to force out the BKB usage. He just walks it off.
Oh, and I usage out of this Orchid too, and now there's the Demonic Cleanse for the Shadow Demon, as we saw there as well. You can't even use it. It's able to just instantly
That's
get
very
the dispel.
true. Yeah, in these sort of games where you're falling behind, the Orchid Storm purchase can feel that it's kind of missed the timing.
Absolutely. That's usually what it ends up being, right? You usually want to try to get this and snowball off it, but you look and you're like, the cores all have BKB. There's also a dispel on the supports. Things are definitely complicated for the side of Tundra.
Yuma ready to go towards the Abyssal next, and once that's online, the amount of lockdown they'll have, it's going to make it difficult for even Crystallis to have a chance of getting in, popping a BKB, and popping his ult. These lassos, these Abyssal Blades come in. It's not an easy fight for the Troll to take part in, and he's still not quite got the BKB. A couple of hundred gold off that Crystallis.
It's really nice for Yuma in this type of game as Ursa too, that you have the SD, because you don't have to go the Nullifier nearly as early as sometimes, right? In this game, he's also just kind of holding. In particular, so probably doesn't need it this early anyway, but he can just go Abyssal. The SD is going to purge the target he's focusing, and there's no way they can really survive off that. All right, Tundra. So Crystallis, he's got the BKB finished. I believe BZM soon has his done. See if they want to try to fight with that. I still don't think that they can take a heads-on fight with it, but let's see.
Radiant are scanning.
Items just continue to flurry in for Heroic, almost an Octarine.
Teen assassin, na? Templar, Nyx, or Phantom.
He's looking to be in a lot of trouble here, Schofield and Whisper.
Or assassin.
We'll get some action back on the table here after a bit of a slower period of the game.
A night and day difference today from Schofield and Whisper. Just having a hell of a performance on these two.
Yeah, the bat's looking pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I'm trying, was there something that was banned out against them
Hey,
the other
to
day?
bhaiya
So
ke
they,
liye
I guess
khana
they
hai.
picked Whisper's hero early, didn't they? So they,
True.
4 दिन तो खाना ही
they
है
just went for other
literally.
stuff. But yeah, seeing his bat in action.
I mean, Whisper, I think his two traditional, non-traditional offlaners
Yep.
are the Batright and the Phoenix. These two he tends to just go absolutely bonkers on if he gets a good start. And this is one of those games that we're absolutely seeing that. Yeah, perfect itemization too, as we see. The blink goes after Shiva's BKB, can go refresher after. And the lead, it just continues to grow for Heroic. Gold lead, it was at 15.
They're
it's at
taking everything
18,
right now. I mean, they're soon going to be set up, of course, move in for the next Roshan.
which is about to come up. And they are very ready for it.
I mean, Tundra,
they're smoking, but
you might have to try something desperate here.
can they make it? It looks like, I mean, Heroic is ready for the fight. They have a sword on the outside.
Yeah, Whisper, he's just straight onto them. He's going to jump forward, put the BKB, stay on top of Saxa. Oh, he's just dead before the fight even starts. He'll buy back. BZM tries to get away, but the lasso comes in. Yuma brings in the bashes. BZM's gone, and he does not have the option for buyback. They can push on for more. Another bash comes in from Yuma as he closes
troll
on
जब reverse भागने लग रहा है मतलब समझ
the BKB. The Fisher will block him off. He's up to the high ground. Chrysalis will survive, but only just. The buyback comes in from Toby.
Crystallis troll उठाया मतलब troll का win rate 0
Sets up for Yuma to pick up another kill.
Kill anybody.
They cannot. Heroic. All heroes surviving, Tundra getting nothing and costing them close to everything, having to use these 2 buybacks, and nothing is found in their favor.
This is absolutely beautiful gameplay. Heroic, the ward's placed again, you know, this time just absolute vision everywhere. I think the secondary ward gets placed afterwards, but they see Tundra even trying to come out and they just pick the fight. Heroic knows all of their strengths in this game. Giving pretty much no hope to Tundra to win any fight. 33, again, it runs in and dies instantly.
I mean, he just doesn't expect that sort of ward to be here at this moment of the game, but it gave them the vision. He'll get some backup coming in, but Schofield's in with the jump. He'll get away just this time.
He does survive.
Just in time that he's able to back off. He's going to try and look to see if they can turn, get something in response. They do get the route onto Schofield, so Tundra will manage to at least get a kill out of this one, and they won't lose 33 this time.
He levels up, gets the big heal there from it, that aggrandize. Does end up surviving. Looked like he was going to go down again just to Whisper in Schofield, but Tundra, they get something. Was the gem recovered? I believe it was recovered from Heroic. It was. So it didn't end up losing their gem. So just a small kill, but Tundra able to get a little bit of something, but a very small something.
This next 4 minutes could very well be the timing for Heroic to push forward and attempt for the high ground. We'll see how prepared Tundra's going to be for that. Chrysalis trying to get the Aghanims online, about 1,600 gold to go.
I mean, these small things, right? It'll help survivability and him stay, but these team fights just don't even look close.
They get the jumping onto BZM, but not enough lockdown this time. BZM able to sneak away with the Glimmer Cape coming in.
So, Toby will pay the price. BZM पे पड़ा है, boom.
Godlike now for Yuma. He gets to go the fun build too. Look at this, queuing up the Octarine afterwards. As we said, he doesn't have to go for this Nullifier if he doesn't feel like he wants to. He can go for any luxury build. And Whisper with, I mean, breaking records on timings for sure on this Batrider. About to have a
Unless कुछ खराब place हो तो शायद जीतेगा, नहीं तो this match is GG.
Yeah, he's definitely making a case for his bat to seriously be considered in the drafts when you're going up against these guys.
And they flex it too, right? As we've seen, they'll play it mid lane, they'll play it off lane, they'll play it as support. So definitely something that could be prioritized as we just see this game. Continue to be a beautiful showing from Heroic. BZM TPing in.
See what they can do. He's going to try for the setup on a Schofield. Comes in with a Vortex. Further TP's coming in, but Schofield's able to jump away. BZM trying to chase. Has to be cautious, though.
Whisper might go in. He's got the refresher. He's thinking about it.
He's training with the jump. With a good knockback with the flame break. He's going to be able to catch BZM. Yuma brings in the damage, slams down the Abyssal. That's BZM gone. Heroic ready to go for more once again. Saxa to fall.
They cannot, I mean, they can't even get pick off, so Heroic, as you said, maybe time to knock on that high ground. They got another lasso. If he does see a target, the banner's on the ground.
They've got it ready.
Fastest on this, yeah. I mean, makes sense.
हम बोले GG है, कोई buyback नहीं
है. In terms of fighting, I just don't know what Tundra does now.
हाँ, वही. I'm so there. Buyback इसलिए नहीं कि item करेंगे.
Banner's down, so the glyph won't even clear that wave.
And they should be able to take out these racks before Tundra have everyone back in the game.
एक तो भाई एक तो मारते हुए
So they just gotta watch.
Meow Fury
Whisper
or
respawns.
I mean, Whisper
Yuma?
has double lasso.
He's going to be able to get away with the enrage. The Vortex not going to hold him down. In fact, Yuma's ready to look to see if he can turn and get a bash. Doesn't get lucky this time. BZM's able to step away with a zip.
All right, they'll play it a little
कुछ
patient.
हो
I
ही
thought
नहीं
they
रहा
were
है
just
भाई।
gonna go in there on the
कुछ
side of
हो ही
Heroic.
नहीं
I mean, they
रहा
might double back in on this.
It feels
Because
like they're
of
gonna
how
reset.
strong they are and the fact they still have this Aegis. And Heroic will
हाँ
not
लोग
be
बोलेगा
scared of
हम
going
भाई
for
खुद
another
का पीआई
fight.
खेल
No, this
लेते
is a
हैं
fake back right
BZM
here.
आराम से।
gonna jump up onto the cliff. There we go. Yuma's able to get over to the back.
ये वाला मैच ज्यादा
इसका देखो ना इन लोग का कुछ नहीं हो रहा है कुछ नहीं हो रहा है
कुछ नहीं हो रहा है डैमेज ही नहीं
Locking him down.
Plastic
Crystallis
build.
bashed up as well. No chance to do the
Troll को
damage. They
देख लो,
control
हालत।
him. Take
BKB
him
ही नहीं
out.
होनी
Look
चाहिए
towards
वो।
BZM.
अरे भाई जीजी कर दो नहीं होगा
Expose into the Enchanto. Double kill for Alok.
BKB को
नहीं तो
रखा
जीजी
हुआ
का
है
देकर
BKB
दिया
ऑन ही नहीं किया है
Heroic coming in hot in this game one. Woo.
I think that's the Heroic that most people were coming to see. All the SA fans rejoice.
बोला ना ये
Holy shit, what
क्रिस्टलिस
a beatdown, honestly.
हम
They came
ट्रोल
in ready
देखे
to
ही
play.
एनिमी को ट्रोल खेल
Definitely
के
ate
हम
their
खेल
breakfast.
सकते
That
हैं
was unreal. I
खेलो
mean, Whisper, honestly, everybody, all 5 of them played fantastic.
वैसे ट्रोल
From
आई थिंक
laning
ये
phase
बोला
to
ना
mid game,
कमेंटेटर लोग
sweeping
काउंटर
them out.
करता है
Great wards, great
इसको
macro play. I
उर्सा
don't know
को
what else to say. That was a
रद्दू में
beautiful
करता
display
है
from Heroic.
And sort of forcing that troll into its first loss in the tournament.
First loss.
They are absolutely able to just steamroll Tundra in this game one.
And Tundra, right? They were even
आज
looking for the fights
बोला
around
steam
their
machine नहीं
timings,
क्या
this
smoke
pipe
generator
thing.
नहीं
The
क्या
pipe
है
timing came, and they got
Smoke bomb नहीं
completely
थे क्या?
destroyed
Yeah.
even during it.
They
So
could not find any timing at all to their favor in this game one. Tundra as Heroic had them covered on all bases. and
ऐसा
get
हारेगा
this
तो टकला ही हो
game
जाएगा
one victory.
पूरा।
Heroic with the first win here at this best of 3.
कल एक पूरो की तरह
It was
वैसा
a
टकला हो जाएगा
fantastic game. The arena
Ball.
going crazy for Heroic, picking up that win there. I mean, it's elimination that's on the line, staying in this tournament. And Heroic, everything from start to end, Lacoste was just amazing for them from those laning phases and throughout.
yeah, it was absolutely beautiful. The execution, this top lane was just a complete disaster for Tundra. They were unable to punch back. We said that there's going to be a couple of issues. Maybe there were some ways to try to fix it, but it just didn't happen in this game. Whisper and Schofield, they were playing it pretty much to perfection.
भैया का skill देख रहे हो एक kill and I'm
getting
out
another blood grenade, getting another kill, getting a double kill
ये
from
एक
Whisper,
kill ये
enabling this
चुपचाप
offlane
की
Batrider that they play as a core. So when we saw him being picked in the draft, we were like, this is most likely going to be the core because they played across 3 different roles and they did work out amazingly in this one.
I think Heroic just looks like the better team right now, straight up. Like, can you honestly say, going in today, like, did you expect a very competitive series here? Because I feel like for the whole year, we have seen, like, time and time again, you have teams like Tundra, Liquid, they have a rough group stage, you know, rough road to international, and then all of a sudden, you know, come playoffs, they do the Tundra thing.
Right, they power up a little
They
bit.
power up, they start winning. It's like, okay, sure, they have a stand-in, but it's Toby. Toby has won tournaments this year as a stand-in, right? So I think Heroic is very happy with themselves. I think Tundra is feeling a little bit outclassed right now because, like, I totally agree on all fronts. They got destroyed. Like, Yuma was active. Like, Analog got a super early Blink Dagger. He was crazy active. Whisper got his signature hero, stomped the lane. Like, this was not even close. Tundra has to, like, go straight back to the drawing board with this one.
Okay, well, before we get to that, right, we've got to talk about the game one a little bit more. Talk about the earlier aspects of this and just how impactful some of the rotations coming through were. How you even talked about, Jenkins, yourself, there was going to be this early trialing and what exactly is going to work out better for the side of Heroic.
Yeah, this triangle farming, I mean, this is like the most satisfying thing ever. Even King Jungle is bringing a creep wave to not only give that farm, but add more damage to the Echo Slam. That instantly went from 1,000 gold on Analog to enough for his Blink Dagger. You do not expect a 9-minute Blink Dagger timing from any hero. Like, this is just not an instinct that you have. Even a player with the skill level and the experience of 33, like, dying in this way right after the Blink reveal is, I mean, that's early. Like, that's a rough death too on Darkseer.
Yeah, you're talking about that early blink timings and just how much it was able to do for them. But Winter, there was a little bit of a, I don't know if the slowdown is the right word. I'm not sure how to describe this exactly.
I mean, after the dagger reveal, I felt like Tundra went back like towards the other side of the map. Actually, this was before the blink reveal, so I wanted to highlight the wards, like how Heroic kind of targeted 33 when he was left alone. That was scouting his camps, and they even placed a sentry, to block his farming pattern. That's like one of the small little things that I feel like Heroic really understands how Tundra likes to play as a team, you know, when Darkseer is alone.
This is why I feel like this one was a big outclass, which, like I said, I don't think many people expected this big of a difference, because every single player on Heroic understood their role and pretty much did it perfectly against one of the highest caliber teams in the world.
Yeah, I feel like the first 10 minutes, right, Heroic
Vivad kara diya, oh.
correctly, whereas Tundra, they didn't know what to do. They weren't very sure about, okay, do we play with our Storm, or do we play with the Darkseer? Because Darkseer can't play the lane against Ursa. Do we help him, or do we help the Troll, because he was like kind of getting bullied by the Bat Rider, which I felt like we had this little discussion where I think the Tiny needed to choose who to sacrifice, because there's 3 lanes, they have to really help. They can only help 2 realistically. And I felt like the one thing that didn't really happen was the runes, right? The Storm didn't really get the first couple of runes, and it was the Earthshaker getting the runes on top of the stack. So he had a perfect start. Because if you think about it, if you're helping the Darkseer, what happens after that? You help him, and then he still goes back to farm, right? But if you are helping secure the runes, then Storm gets the runes. Storm gets to help the Troll, and you kind of unleash.
He's gonna pay it forward.
Yeah, because what happened in the game was 5 minutes, around 5:50, they actually went top to kill the Bat Rider, and they lost the rune control on 6 minutes. So Earthshaker got the rune. I think these are small little things that it might not look like much, but it tells you the story of what the teams are prioritizing. And I don't know if that was the right way to play the game, even though they killed the Marcy when they went top.
They were killing Storm Spirit multiple times. Like, there was a big difference in the mid lane in terms of like how they're playing, because he was never getting initiated on. And you did mention the rune control. In first 25 minutes, they did pick up 7 runes compared to only 2 runes on Tundra. And if there's one hero in the game that needs those active runes to be able to control the tempo of the game, that's definitely Storm Spirit, and it just didn't happen in this one. Analog, he did have BZM's number throughout the whole game. Like, you could see BZM stacking the Ancients for himself in the outer ring, thinking that he's safe there. But again, these Twin Gates rotations that we praise Heroic for, they go for it, they find him, they steal the stacks again, they get the kill, and they go back to farming immediately. And also one of the issues that we did address is that they weren't very good when they played against, yesterday when they were playing against P-Vision, how they were moving across the map with the aggressive heroes that they did have. This time around, they were very clean in terms of execution, going for a kill, pushing out the waves, because again, this is pretty similar tactic that they did have yesterday. It's just the execution wasn't as clean.
Yeah, I think that's even shown in team fights, right? They were willing to bring those numbers. I think the vision game was a little bit better as well, Winter. But earlier on, you think Tundra lanes are struggling. They're still able to find farm for themselves. There's still items coming out. You know, the Tiny getting a Blink Dagger as well. But those not really eventuating too much more when the team fights do end up happening.
That was kind of like, I felt like the real turning point of the game. Sure, Tundra, they were struggling initially, but when they got the dagger on Saxa, they immediately made this play. They went up top. But they started the fight on the Marcy, but they didn't really kill him instantly. It took a while before they died. But the fight kind of dragged out really long, and they got stuck in a pretty bad like echo slam eventually. Yeah. So I felt like this was like the part of the game where Tundra needed to get something out of the dagger, but they couldn't really deal with the tri-core, you know, especially the Bat Rider, Earthshaker, and the Ursa together. Like,
I think this is a perfect example of like why Earthshaker as a hero is so high value right now. You know, you have the threat of the big echo, and with the Yasha and Kaya, he does enough damage to like, with the Slugger, innate, like to 1v5 your team, but also with just the fissures, like Analog was crazy disruptive of all of the initiations that Tundra was trying to make with their timings.
Yeah, this also happened like after that, you know, they were going to fight again, you know, for the Tormentor, and they lost another fight on the Tundra side with the dagger. So these are the 2 big sequences I felt like Heroic just played really well. They anticipated the move. They brought enough heroes, especially the carry. The Ursa came in, joined the fights, and made sure that they took control of the game from here on.
And you can see that they understand how to play with Earthshaker really well. In these clips, you can see that they're always fighting around Fissure, utilizing that Shaker's shard to be able to get that extra bit of a stun, because the Fissure lasts long enough for you to get that extra enchant totem on him, get the stun. It's pretty massive, and they are really utilizing it well.
Yeah, the Marcy being so impactful, right? You see her as this position 4, and it's like, we can jump her, Jenkins. It's easy. We should be able to just at least have the numbers advantage now, especially with the Blink Dagger reveal. But this hero, you've talked about how much of a menace it is. To see it still be that menace as a support too.
Yeah, it's I mean, it does so many things. Like, you have the Helm Dom build, which as a carry has a lot of impact, but you also have the support build, which can jump a hero like Bat Rider right on top in the laning phase, like give him some way to initiate. So he went for Tranquils, and then he was gonna. I think he built into an early drums. At least he had that queued up.
He had it queued up, but switched to a BKB.
Switched to a BKB. So it goes for the early BKB because they were focusing him very heavily, considering all the kills that he had. We even saw some like bait fights where it looked like Whisper was about to get himself killed, and then they were actually. Like everybody on Heroic was ready for this.
And I love this Shivas that he did pick up. It allows him to get even more scouting, and this is also in the early props that they placed before that, understanding that Tundra might try to go for this Hail Mary play, try to defend Roshan because they were faking it at this time, and then Whisper blinks in, gets a really good initiation, slows everybody down with Shiva's Guard, canceling any kind of blink daggers if they have it at the time, and it just feels like that this healing reduction as well that he's going for. This is not a traditional Batrider item by any means. You're playing against Pugna, you're playing against this Troll, so he's just going to get kited. And also, I think Pugna didn't really have a game at all. You're playing against Shadow Demon, so your Decryptify is going to be removed. Storm Spirit did go for Orchid. Then you have a Demonic Cleanse as well from the Shadow Demon. A very, very difficult fights that they need to take post 20 minutes.
Even Earthshaker being able to interrupt his suck on the back line, it's one of those things where it's like before you had to hit the fissure on Pugna, but now because everybody's going for the aftershock increases with Earthshaker's ulti facet, pretty much throw a fissure anywhere in the fight and you're going to hit a backline Pugna.
There's a high chance.
It's a very high chance.
Yeah, look, our standout player is definitely going to be Whisper. Everything from the early to the late, the itemization, it feels like there is nothing that we can pick apart from what he did there. It felt on the borderline perfect there, but someone we haven't really spoken too much about that I also would love to highlight is this Shadow Demon. We know just how impactful he has been already in this tournament for other teams picking him up, but now with Troll having a 100% win rate, it getting picked up, you kind of realize if Shadow Demon's in a good position, this Troll ult is redundant. It doesn't matter what items you get, you're not going to be able to lifesteal when that ult goes off, and it's just a non-factor.
Yeah, I think if you want to pinpoint like the biggest problem in Tundra's draft, I think they would go back and consider like the Troll to be a bit of a blunder, I guess, because like I get the idea. Troll versus Ursa in the late game is like hugely Troll favored because you can dispel Ursa's overpower, and then you also the mischance Ursa doesn't like playing into. You're the one hero in Dota that can man up against Ursa. But all the other heroes you mentioned, you got the Bat in lane that's going to dumpster him. You have the SD, which is going to protect from the Troll ulti as well. So I think in a one-to-one matchup, sure. In a vacuum, sure.